Hello, my name is Kate and I'm a marketer at Takeprofit Tech. We have been providing retail and institutional forex brokers with bridging and aggregation solutions for 14 years. Today I want to share what we at Takeprofit Tech actually see when it comes to a number of liquidity providers for retail brokers. And the main question is, how many liquidity providers does a retail forex broker usually use? In theory, the logic looks clear. One liquidity provider is the minimum for STP brokers. If a broker positions itself as STP, it needs at least one LP to send clients' trades to the market. Two liquidity providers are usually recommended for backup. If the main LP has technical issues, rejects orders, or becomes unavailable, the broker can switch execution to the second liquidity provider. 3 to 4 liquidity providers are often considered as the ideal setup. The idea is that several liquidity providers give the broker deeper liquidity, better pricing, tighter spreads, and the ability to process larger orders with the less impact. So the theory says the more liquidity providers a broker has, the better. But in practice, the retail forex market works differently. In our experience, most retail forex brokers work only with one liquidity provider. Based on what we see, only around 3 out of 10 retail brokers execute client trades in a book. And even when a broker has an LP connection, it doesn't always mean that client trades are executed in a book. This means that many retail forex brokers execute client trades internally in B book, while using liquidity providers only for receiving quotes. Even brokers that use STP execution use only one LP. Having two liquidity providers is already a rare case. Usually it is done by larger or better capitalized retail brokers because maintaining multiple LPs relationships means maintaining multiple monitoring accounts, monitoring execution quality, and managing more operational risks. For these forex brokers, the second LP isn't used to get a better pricing. It is used as a backup plan in case the primary LP fails. And as for 3, 4 or more liquidity providers, we haven't seen this model used commonly in our practice. At first glance, multiple LPs sound like a strong setup. We often hear the arguments that this way forex brokers can provide its clients with better pricing, tighter spreads, reduce its own costs, and improve its reputation. But there are several practical issues. First of all, it is easier to build strong relationship with one liquidity provider. A single LP setup is easier to manage, easier to monitor, and easier to negotiate commercially. Second, one LP can simplify risk management. A broker working with one LP can have commercial or risk-sharing arrangement with this provider. The AP may help handle the broker's risk and return the part of the profit. For newer retail brokers, this can reduce their costs because they do not need large dealing team or large risk management team from the day one. Third, multiple liquidity providers can create imbalance, and here is the problem. If a broker always selects best bid and ask prices from several liquidity providers, buy orders may go to one LP, while sell orders may go to another. As a result, traders do not naturally offset with the same provider. The broker may end up with open positions across several LPs. These positions create swap costs, additional margin requirements, and more risk to monitor. So instead of reducing risk and providing better pricing to the clients, the broker may create a new operational and financial pressure. To manage this properly, the broker needs enough margin with each LP, strong monitoring, proper liquidity aggregation, and an experienced dealing team. For many retail brokers, this setup is too complex and too expensive. So what is the real picture? Most forex retail brokers operate in B book. They use liquidity providers mainly as a source for quotes, not necessarily for executing every client trade externally. STP brokers usually work with one LP. This is often enough to meet their execution model and keep operations manageable. Larger brokers use two LPs, but the second provider usually serves as a backup, not as a tool for getting better prices. 3 or more LPs are more of a market myth for retail forex brokers. The model may sound attractive in theory, but in practice it isn't commonly implemented because of costs, complexity, margin requirements, and risk imbalance. So the key takeaway is the following. More liquidity providers do not automatically mean better execution and lower risk, but it may bring more risk. For a retail forex broker, the right number of LPs depends on its execution model, capital, dealing team, risk appetite, and operational readiness. In many cases, one well-managed liquidity provider is more practical than several LPs that create additional complexity.